Carly!
It's super wide right now.
Where's the guy? Is the guy in front?
Yep, up front.
With the box?
With the box.
I got him on. You don't hear him?
How do you feel?
I feel great, man. I feel absolutely great.
Good for you.
Why don't we get you out of the street?
Over here?
There are three people to talk to. Two lawyers and Mr. Hart. Yeah. Closer? A little bit. Yeah, let's get you guys out of the street a little more. This guy's
Have you run over by a tractor before?
It's a long time to get a photo made. Everybody rolling.
Yeah.
James Harden Jr.
H-A-R-D.
Yeah.
I guess an obvious question I asked you just a second ago, but what is it like? How many years in prison? What's it like?
It's unexplainable. I can't tell you what it's like. I mean, it feels good to just be exonerated for something that me and my brother and my co-defendants didn't do.
Have you lost faith in America? Have you lost faith in the judicial system after all this, or did you regain your faith with what these people did for you? Where do you stand on all that?
Wow. I did lose. One time I did kind of lose faith, but you know, thanks to people such as these people right here, they restored that faith for me today. So it's truly a blessing.
I think we all experience in life, here's a train. Either as a kid or an adult, somebody says, hey, you did this, and you know you didn't. And it gets cleared up maybe in an hour or two or a day. You're able to say, it's prove yourself right. 20 years you're behind there and you didn't do it. What is that like?
I can't even begin to tell you just that, man. I never gave up. I always wanted to prove my innocence, my brother innocent. You know, this is something my mother and father wanted, and this is what happened yesterday.
They passed while you were behind bars and you were not able to go to their funeral. Do you think they were watching you from now?
Ain't no doubt they watched. Yesterday it was raining, and my brother said, that's mom and daddy crying. So tears of joy.
What do you
have your brother there in the same institution?
Yes, ma'am. You know, be able to watch out for one another. Yeah.
What's your future? I know you just walked out the doors, and it's a big change. But what would you like to do? What do you want to go to school? Do you want to get a job? What are some things you want to do?
Yes, I definitely want to go to school. I'm gonna get me some CDL license. I want to drive a truck. I'm do a little traveling. I've been sitting for almost 20 years, so let me move. Let me go see some.
You want to see the country?
Yes, sir.
And you mentioned before, but all these people who didn't even know you put their faith in you, and what do you want to? What do you want to say to these people who fought so hard?
And from the bottom of my heart, I thank each and every last one of them that wrote a note, a thought, anything just to free us.
Do you plan to launch a civil suit to recover? I mean, what they've done to you, some damages, money for what they put you through?
I don't know. I'm gonna consult with my attorney. She'll give me the best advice possible.
And so what do we learn from this as a community? What do you think we learn from this?
We learned that just because they say you're guilty, does that not necessarily mean that you're guilty. There's a lot of guys that's locked up that's truly innocent of crimes that they didn't commit, but all they need is a chance and an opportunity to prove they're innocent, just like I have.
Somebody else want to add?
Any dark days where you wondered if you'd ever be cleared, that you wondered if you'd get out of prison alive?
Yes. Especially, losing my parents, my mother, my father, my grandmother, and yeah. Once they died, I thought it was over with. That real support.
Did you consider taking your own life? Did it get that depressing?
Nah, no sir.
You were going to win.
I was gonna win. Fight to the end.
Anybody else want to ask? I've been hogging it all. Does anybody else have a question, or you want to go to the lawyers?
Were you counting days? Do you know exactly how many days you were in there?
No man.
But 20 years is a good number.
Yes sir. Yes sir.
And what do you want first thing to eat since you're bed prison?
I have no idea.
Steak, hamburger, fish? I mean, what are you thinking?
Probably a steak, corn on the cob or something.
Everybody else, want to talk to the lawyers now?
Do you have anything to say about,
Absolutely.
caused justice for that bill?
Absolutely. And I just would like to say, man, my prayers and thoughts goes out to the Matthews family. It's definitely a tragedy. She's a good friend of ours. And I'm just glad that they apprehended the right person that did.
Did you know the girl, or you knew the family?
Yes, I knew the girl. Yes.
So this, I assume, broke your heart just as well.
Ain't no doubt.
And then you're accused of it.
Yes.
And it didn't even match your DNA.
No, it did not.
Why do you think they went after you?
A quick fix. The system is broken. It needs a revamp. Yeah.
What do you think about the co-defendants that testified against you?
I think they were just young. They did some things that they had no knowledge of themselves. And I guess this was a lesson learned for them as they got to adulthood.
Think the police forced the confession out of them?
Ain't no doubt
What?
that the police forced the confession up out of them. No doubt.
Are you angry? I mean, do you hold people, are you angry at those boys? Are you angry at the detectives?
I'm not angry at nobody. Today is a good day. I'm not angry at nobody. God is good. That's it. I ain't angry at nobody.
Yes, so Lynn?
Yep.
And you are with?
I'm with the Exoneration Project at the University of Chicago Law School.
How many more people are out there in the same fix as James, do you think? Is there an estimate on this? Any ideas?
I don't know. I mean, we learn more about DNA and DNA helps us learn more and more every day about different errors that can lead to people being wrongfully convicted. And James's case and the case of his co-defendants are just one example of that.
What went wrong in this case?
I don't know. I mean, I think we're going to have time to learn more about that. Clearly, there were confessions here from youth who were interrogated without their parents present, who gave confessions that this DNA evidence shows us is false. And I think that's one big piece of what happened here. But we're going to have time in the future to examine that and figure that out.
What do we learn from this as James as a community, as a society? What do we learn from this case?
That our justice system is fallible. I mean, today's a great day because justice was finally served after nearly 20 years, but the justice system makes mistakes, and I think we need to be open to admitting that there are errors in our system and working to correct those.
How difficult is it to correct those errors once made? I mean, how difficult is your job in getting people?
It's hard. I mean, I'm really glad in James's case that DNA evidence was out there, scientific evidence advanced and improved so that we could do additional testing for James now that could prove his innocence, but it is hard. And it's projects like ours, law school projects with law students working really hard on cases that can help correct some of these errors, but it's difficult.
They did DNA the first time. Is that DNA got more improved? Is that why this case got broken? Changed?
James's case was broken because of the National CODIS database, which is the national DNA database that collects DNA profiles from earlier criminal investigations and earlier felony convictions, compiles them so that those can be searched now, and that's what broke James's case open.
That wasn't around when this crime first happened with Harden?
It was just beginning, and now, you know, there are millions of profiles in the DNA database, and back when James's case happened, that technology and that collection of DNA was really just beginning.
Talk to you, sir.
Yeah.
What your name, sir, is?
Craig Cooley.
C-R-A-I-G?
Yes.
Spell your last name?
Scoot a little further.
Sorry.
Cooley.
And you're with?
The Innocence Project in New York City.
So, is there an estimate out there how many more people in this country, any numbers on that could be in the same state as James and his brother?
You talk to scholars, there's many out there. We don't know the exact number, but that's why we have these projects out across the country, the Exoneration Project, the Innocence Project, the Center on Wrongful Convictions, and even if 1% of all convictions is incorrect, that's a lot of people, and that's why we're here.
What's your gun? Hundreds? Thousands?
If I knew, how many convictions are there? Take 1% of that, that's a lot of innocent people, and that's why we're here, and that's what we got James out and bringing Jonathan out. Yeah, that's just a lot of them, but the system needs to be rectified in this case especially. I think tunnel vision set in. They couldn't solve the case. They had a young victim and they wanted to solve the crime, and they got to coerce some confessions and tunnel vision set in.
I don't understand why what was and I'm not trying to defend them, but what was their thought? His DNA didn't match. They had the confessions. Why did they proceed forward when they didn't even match their suspect?
That's the million-dollar question. And that's what I'm sure we'll learn more. We're going to push hopefully for an investigation of what went wrong. Just like when a plane crashes or a train crashes, you send the FAA out to figure out why that happened. In the United States, we don't do that too often for something like James. So we're going to try to push to see what happened. Where did the system break down? And why did law enforcement focus on 5 juveniles when you have a 14-year-old victim and the DNA from that victim did not match any of the 5 juveniles? So that's the question we want to answer.
Civilly, how much can a person who's wronged by this for 20 years of life collect from the state or from the police departments? Or he should get something at some time.
Well, first, he should get something, but I don't know if you can put a price tag on what he's lost. That's the first thing. In terms of numbers, I don't know. Each case is different. It depends on the attorney, but I think money is irrelevant at this point, and I'm sure our clients will seek some sort of compensation. But I think they're just happy to be out. I think we're all happy that the actual perpetrator was actually identified, and regardless of what the state says, we believe that we've identified the perpetrator. And again, like James said, we sympathize with the victim's family. We really do, and she's being re-victimized at this point because of old wounds, and hopefully we can close those, and the state will do the right thing and prosecute the individual who actually did this.
Are we done? Can you hang for a second?